Hey everyone, welcome back. So if you haven't seen my first video, my name is Mo, and this channel is going to be about my journey towards joining the military. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much for all the positive feedback that I received. Not only congratulations on my first video, but also encouragement toward my journey toward the military. I am so appreciative to those who reached out with kind words and positive thoughts. It's really a blessing to have this community around me as I move forward. So thank you. Secondly, if you hear little feet in the background running around, I've got my 3-year-old nephew upstairs, little Zion. He might make a cameo at some point if he comes downstairs and catches me. He likes to take pictures. But if you hear that in the background, don't worry, it's just my nephew running around having fun. So with the video that I posted last week, I received a lot of questions about what started this idea of joining the military. And to be honest, if you haven't been involved in my life for probably the past 5 to 8 years, then you probably never heard me mention it. I started thinking about joining the military back when I was in college. I don't know what it was about it. I think I just always appreciated the soldiers for what they've done for this country, and I respect so much the sacrifice and the discipline, and so with, you know, having some family in the military and hearing their stories and getting to enjoy the freedom that I have living here in the United States, I wanted to be a part of that. And I remember my first contact with anyone in the military, it was the semester I studied abroad in Hawaii, and I'll kind of touch on this a little bit more later in the series. They had an ROTC program there for the Air Force, and I went to the orientation because I was interested in joining the military after college. And we've got visitors. Hi, Pumpkin. Come here, Pumpkin. Come here. Say hi to the camera.
Hi, Kara.
Say hi, YouTube.
Hi, Kara.
Sorry about that. I apparently ran out of memory on my iPad, so we are switching over to my iPhone. Yay for technology. So anyway, back to my story. I wanted to join the military after college because going into the military with a degree, you automatically go in as an officer. So I sat through orientation, and afterward I approached the director and I told her that I was interested in joining the military. At that point in time, I wasn't sure which branch I wanted to go into, but because they had an Air Force program there, I figured I at least could go through the ROTC program while I was there to be a step ahead of the plan, right? So I went up to her and I told her, look, I'm interested in joining the military. And she took one look at my hair, and at that point in time, I had probably been locked for maybe about 8 months. My hair was super short. It wasn't even to my collar of my shirt. And she asked me one question. She said, "Do you have any visible tattoos?" And at that point in time, I didn't have this. I didn't have this. I didn't have hardly any of my tattoos, but I had a star behind my ear. And she took a look at my hair and a look at my star and said, "Sweetie, you can do the program, but you're not going to get into the Air Force. Your hair is not regulation, and you have a visible tattoo that would be visible while in uniform." And I was bummed. I was like, man, that sucks, you know? At that point in time, laser tattoo removal wasn't really on the up and up. And I was adamant about not cutting my hair. And I know that seems a little superficial, but like I said, I'll get into that a little bit more when we're talking about the beauty aspect of it. But anyhow, I talked to a few other recruiters from different branches, and they kind of all said the same thing. My hair wasn't regulation, it wasn't uniform, and I'd most likely have to cut it off. And then I had more visible tattoos. So I kind of just let it go. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's not for me. If it was meant to be, it would have been. It's kind of my motto. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. If it's meant to be, it'll be. So I speak about it. I've spoken about it every so often, but as of recently, I think about a year and a half ago, the Army issued a news release stating that they were making changes to their uniform and allowing more natural hair in the military. And so I got excited again. I was like, man, maybe this could happen. Maybe I could think about it again. I'm not too old. I'm still old, but I'm not too old. And I remember reaching out to my aunt with the article, and I was like, look, you know, maybe this can happen. Maybe I can do this. And she said, yeah, but just don't get caught. You know, like, recruiters will tell you anything to get you to sign up, and you'll get to boot camp or MEPS, and they'll be like, by the way, that's all gotta go. And so I didn't want to be caught off guard. So I still didn't look into it too hardcore, but I started thinking about it again and figuring out if at this late in the game, at my age, if it was something that I was even willing to do anymore, because, you know, I'm older and it would require me to, like I said, get in shape. And I don't have kids, you know, I'm not dating anyone, I have no family outside of my immediate family, so it wouldn't be too much for me to up and leave. But then again, you know, I would be missing some of the, you know, memorable times of my nephews, of my best friends and their kids, and I wasn't sure if it was something I wanted to do full time. So I was talking about this a couple weeks ago with my mom and my stepdad, and my mom was like, you know what, I've got a friend who is in the National Guard. If you have any questions, I'm sure he'd be willing to help you. And so a huge thank you to Darnell. Thank you so much. He's been my go-to person for all of my questions, and he's been a tremendous help in making this decision happen. And I can't tell you how many pictures I've sent him. I sent him pictures of my bun, sent him pictures of my tattoos. And I'm like, is this gonna be okay? Please let me know. Do I need to get it removed? Do I need to get, you know, this part removed? Because technically in the military, especially in uniform, you're not supposed to have any tattoos visible. And so I think the cutoff limit for most tattoos on your arms is your wrist bone. And if you follow my wrist bone right around, all these Roman numerals right here, the worst part of this tattoo's gotta go. So with the news release coming out with the changes they're making toward natural hair being acceptable in the military, and locks specifically, and with laser tattoo removal becoming so much more prevalent, people taking off full sleeves, you know, it's an option for me again, and I'm really excited, you know. I'm back on my iPad. Anyhow. So, although I'm within the age requirements to still be able to join the Navy and the Air Force, I'm too old for Coast Guard and for Marines. I'm leaning toward Army or Army National Guard. They have the leniencies for natural hair. Now, either way I go, I'll be joining as a reserve. Once I'm done with basic training and once I'm done with AIT, you'll still see me around. I'll be here, no worries. But I am joining with a 6-year contract to begin with, and who knows, if I like it, if I love it, I may, you know, renew contracts as the years go on. If I don't, then 6 years from now, I'll be out. But either way, I'm truly excited, and like I said before, I'm super thankful for everyone that's given me positive feedback. Now, if you have feedback that you don't think is so positive, I'm willing to listen to that too. There's nothing better than having a discussion about reasons why not to strengthen your reasons why. So, whatever type of feedback that you have for me, please feel free to send it my way, even if you don't think it's all about my positive vibes. I'm happy to have a discussion with you, and I know that some people aren't going to be too happy about this, but that's okay. It's okay. Trust and believe, I'm not going to be mad about it. So in my next video, I will probably be talking more about my fitness. We'll hit on my fitness journey, and I'll kind of give you updates and show you a little bit of the clips that I've taken and pictures that I've taken, my journey so far, and maybe give you guys a little interview with my personal trainer, James Moore, who is an ex-military, a personal trainer here in Nashville, who's taken me on as his personal project. This will be a long journey, but you know, I've started somewhere, and everyone starts somewhere. So hopefully we only go uphill from now, right? And not running, because running uphill, no thank you. So that's it for this one. I hope some of the questions have been answered. And if you have any more, please feel free to leave them in the comments or shoot me an email. Like I said before, I'm available on Instagram and Snapchat if you have any questions that you don't feel comfortable leaving in the comments. And yeah, thanks again for following me on this journey. It's gonna be fun. Bye.